Retirement planning looks very, very different if you're like me. When you work for yourself, you rent your home, and you don't have a lovely, fat, final salary pension floating down from the heavens like some kind of financial fairy godmother. I don't have any kind of safety net at all. It is just me who is bringing in the money, as we say. So, in this video, I am going to share my current income, what it looks like now, and what I think it may look like in 5 years' time. Right, so here we are on my retirement budget planner. And I'm just going to run through the figures and why I've put them in here, and then talk a little bit about how I'm going to do a projection of what I think I am going to need to earn in 2031 to replace my current income. So I'm self-employed, and I have put the figure in here of my take-home pay. So I've used figures on here that are not my real figures, but they're just for the purposes of recording this video, really. So on my self-employed business, so I will have a gross income, and then I will have all my business expenses taken off that, and then it will be taxed on the taxable profit. So after tax, this is the amount of money that I have to call my own each month. So it's 2,500, and that would then be the amount that would cover all my bills. Now, I will run through the expenses probably in another video, but this is purely from an income perspective. So when I retire, or if I want to retire at 67, or if I get to retirement age in 2031, this is what my projected income would look like to match my current income. So to keep my current standard of living, to pay my rent and all my other bills, food, run my car, and do everything that I do today. If I want that same kind of lifestyle when I come to be 67, this is what it is going to look like. So I have my state pension here. I am projected to get the full state pension because I have paid my 35 years of national insurance at the full rate, and I have 35 full years, and therefore my monthly state pension is going to work out about £1,001.18. So I do have a very small private pension, which will be taxed at basic rate because all of my tax allowance will be taken up by my state pension, because state pension is about, well, it's just under the personal allowance at the moment in 2026. Personal allowance is £12,570. And the state pension forecast that I'm going to get in 2031 is just very slightly under that personal allowance. Now, everything is going to be taxed at 20%. There will be no personal allowance for any other income. So the small private pension that I've got will give me around about £400 a month. So £100 of that is going to go straight away in tax. So I will be left with £300. That would then give me £1,300 in income. So in order to reach the 2,500 that I currently earn, I would need to get other other income at £1,200. So that will be after tax at 20%. Now, you're probably going to say to me, well, you've not taken into account any inflation in this at all. And that's true, because this is just my first stage of trying to project the amount of income that I will need to keep my current level of living. I can't do a projection based on an inflation rate of 5% because income doesn't work like that. The state pension is set in stone at the moment because that is law. So that line there is not going to change. My private pension in 5 years is probably not going to change. It's not likely to increase or decrease by much. Whether there's a rise or a fall in the stock market, or anything to do with savings, it's not likely to change by much. It could, but it's not likely to. My self-employment, um, is what will actually change. It will need to increase quite substantially, I would imagine. 5% of 1,200 is working out to be £60. So you can see, I mean, if I increase that to £1,260, that is no way going to cover my expenses in 5 years' time. So this is why I'm saying I can't do an inflation increase on the income, because it's not going to take into account that every single one of my bills is going to increase by 5%. So this is a kind of like a bit of a stalemate where I'm at the moment. So this is why I need to then have a look at my expenses to try and do a projection on what I think my expenses will look like in 5 years' time, and probably do a projection based on a worst case scenario so that I know how much income I'm going to need to have. You may also say to me, well, where is your YouTube? Because I'm monetized on my YouTube channel. Why are you not showing that as extra income on either one of these charts? And the reason for that is that it's included in my self-employment income, before and after tax. Because I'm self-employed and because I'm a sole trader, I have to report all of my income in one source, in what in one tax return. That's why you're not seeing the YouTube income on here. So I thought I would just do a screen recording of my projections to give you some idea of where to start, because it could be that I mean, I'm a bookkeeper, so I do this sort of stuff every day. But if you're not, and you would like to do some kind of projection for your income, and you don't really know where to start, well, this will be a good place to start, looking at your current income and sources, and see what it looks like if you project it 5 years' time. I plan in the next video to show you my expenses as they are today, and also do a projection of what I think my expenses will look like in 5 years. And obviously, all of this is a guesstimation because no one knows what is going to happen in the next 5 years. I've picked out a figure of 5% inflation, but who knows? So we're told one thing from one source or one department, one government department, and then we're told other things from other interested parties. And then people like Martin Lewis will tell you something else. And then you will have your gut feeling where where you think your um, actual understanding of what's increased and what hasn't increased. Um, so it's very difficult to come up with an actual projection. So everything is guesswork, and that's why I call it a guesstimation. Um, but I hope that helps anybody that is thinking about trying to plan ahead for the next 5 years. Where I'm coming at it from is that I want to split my retirement years into at least two sections, if not three. The first part of my retirement is going to be my active years. So, where I still want to go out and about, go on adventures, holidays, go and visit, day trips, that sort of thing. So, I will need extra money to do that, to live the way that I want to once I am retired. Although I think I'm going to be semi retired, if I'm honest with you. But then there will come a time where I'm not quite so mobile, so I will not need as much money. So then um, I would have to reassess my income requirements. I think I am going to be semi-retired at 67 because I'm going to need the extra income, as you can see, to keep my level of standard of living at the same as it is today. So it's interesting. I mean, this is my mindset today in 2026, and it may not be the same in 2031. things may change. I've been diagnosed with cataracts, so I don't know what my vision is going to look like in 5 years, whether I'll have had the operation to replace um, the lenses in my eyes, or whether I will, not have had that done, and I may or may not be able to work as a bookkeeper any longer. So this is how I've gone about starting my pre-retirement planning. I hope it helps anybody. If you've got any questions, then please let me know. And obviously, if you can see any faults in what I'm looking at, then point them out to me by all means. And oh yes, I guess the other subject, the other thing to say is that I don't plan to take benefits when I'm in my early part of my retirement, because I think, well, I know that I won't be able to claim them if I'm part-time employed. Benefits I'm going to leave as, I guess, as a safety net, and with the intention not to claim benefits when I do semi-retire. Um, but of course, I'm not ruling anything out, and it depends on health and it depends on a lot of things. But I know that that is there as the safety net, although it doesn't give you, a great income source. Well, rather, it doesn't give you a great deal of money, but it does open up then a lot of other benefits that you can claim and get freebies and stuff. But yeah, so benefits is in the background. It's not something I really want to do in the early part of my retirement, but we will see. We will see how it plays out. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you've liked it, please hit the like button. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.